There is one relationship skill that is so important that if you don't master this one skill, then almost nothing else you practice will help you to develop deep and healthy and satisfying relationships. Hi everybody, this is Greg from Heart Tools, where we make it simple to build great relationships. And in this video, we are going to introduce what I think is the single most important skill to master if you want to have great relationships. And it's called listening with empathy, or sometimes you may have heard it referred to as reflective listening. And there are three parts to reflective listening. The first part is when you're listening to someone, you want to identify the feeling that they're trying to express. You want to identify the emotional content of the message. And here's why. Just as your emotions are signals to you about what's happening in your universe with the people and things you love, so the speaker's emotions are also signals to you about what's happening in their universe with the people and things they love. People only feel emotions about the things they care about. So paying attention to the emotional content is the quickest way to understand what is going on in this person's universe that is really important to them. The second step of listening with empathy is to identify the thought being communicated. If the emotion tells you what is going on in their universe with the people and things they love, that they've lost something they love's being threatened, they've compromised a love relationship, depending on the emotion, it tells you what's going on, and then the thought tells you why specifically that's going on. And so your daughter may say something like, I'm furious because my friend posted a picture to social media that I asked her not to, right? And so she's furious. Something important to her is being threatened. It might be her self-esteem, it might be her social standing, it could be any number of things. But it tells you why specifically that emotion is happening. Now let me just pause and reflect that these first two parts let you know an important thing that's going on in the people and things they love and why it's going on. How can you be connected with the people that you care about if you don't know those two things, right? That's why listening with empathy is such a powerful tool. It allows you to stay connected to the people that you love with the things that are most important to them. Then the third part of listening with empathy is then to reflect both the emotion and the thought back to the speaker in a tentative statement, starting off with something like, well, it sounds like you're feeling this because of this. Am I hearing you say you're feeling this because of this, right? So you start off with a tentative statement, and here's why. The first reason why it's important is because you may have identified the wrong emotion. You may have identified anger when really they feel humiliated. Or you may have identified the wrong intensity of emotion. You may say, wow, sounds like you're a little miffed, when really they're furious, right? And so it gives them an opportunity to correct either the emotion or the intensity of the emotion if that's important to them. The second reason is you may have identified the wrong thought, gives them a chance to correct that. And then the third reason, even if you got both right, there's something about opening with a tentative statement because it's a question that invites the speaker then to say, yeah, that's exactly what's going on. And then they continue, right? And then they share more about what's important about that to them. Maybe they even go to a deeper level. That gives you a chance then to listen with empathy again, reflect that back, which invites them to say more. And you can, continue that conversation as long as it's important to them. And it gives you a chance to really have a great conversation with people that matter to you. So let me encourage you to start setting aside at least 5 minutes a day to intentionally practice this skill set of listening with empathy. We do have a tool here at Heart Tools that you can download for free called Practice Listening with Empathy, and you can even have that right in front of you as you're practicing. It's okay because you're just practicing here, right? And you ask someone, hey, can I spend 5 minutes practicing my listening skills. Can you talk about something important that's going on in your life right now so I can just practice this? Maybe you practice with someone else who's trying to get better at listening also, and you each, take turns spending 5 minutes practicing, and do that every day. Now, let me warn you, at first, you may feel, it may feel a little wooden, it may feel a little unnatural, and we're going to talk about why that is in the next video, because that's a fairly common experience. We'll talk about that. But for now, let me just encourage you, set aside 5 minutes a day to practice this important skill so you can get better at connecting and empathizing with the things that matter most to the people that you care about and want to be connected to. Simple steps, practice, practice, practice. That's what Heart Tools is all about.